Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I will be showing you how to make this massive modern suburban mansion. This is the amount of space required to make your build. Feel free to make this grid in your world if you do feel as though it will help you out, and I would actually definitely recommend it for this one as it will help us out a lot. And here are all of the materials that we are going to be using throughout the build. You may be able to see that we actually have two chests this time. These are the materials that we are going to be starting off with, and hopefully these are the remaining materials that we will be needing. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. And now that we're prepared, let's get started. So, if you have made the grid, we want to begin in the front left-hand corner and count backwards 35 blocks. I already have this marked out on the side of my grid. We then want to count inwards 10 blocks. This is going to be the starting position. So once from the front left-hand corner you have extended inwards 35 and then inwards by 10, we want to begin by placing 15 cyan terracotta going right on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Extend forwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then extend to the right by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Extend forwards by 1. Right by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 1. Right by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In by 3. 1, 2, 3. Right by 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We then want to extend backwards by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We then want to extend across the back of the build by 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We then want to extend forwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. Right by 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And then in by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then extend right. And then join all the way back to where you very first started. So a nice, quick and easy way to join back. This is the shape that we should be left with. Now, once you have achieved this shape, we are going to start marking out some of the more important parts of the building. So, over here on the front left-hand corner of the build, where we very first started, we want to begin by placing 3 white concrete extending right. 1, 2, 3. Place 4 upside down smooth quartz stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place a white concrete, and then 4 more upside down stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to fill this gap in on the right using white concrete, extend forwards using white concrete, and then right of this white concrete on the end, we want to place 4 upside down smooth quartz stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to place a white concrete, and then 4 more stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can then place a couple of white concretes here on the end, extend forwards. We then want to extend to the right by 2, so 1, 2. We can then extend up by 1. We then want to come all the way back to our first set of upside down smooth quartz stairs, or any set of them really, as we are doing pretty much the same thing with them all. And we want to place pillar quartz block on the left and right, and we want to place 1, 2, 3 on the ends. 1, 2, 3. We then want to place tinted glass in between the pillar quartz. And then on top of all of the blocks that we've just placed, we want to place 5 rows of white concrete. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, after we have done that, we then want to, once again, place a row of upside down smooth quartz stairs, a row of 3 pillar quartz on the left and right, so 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, tinted glass in between them, and then we want to simply place a couple of rows of white concrete on top of this. So, this is what we want to have for the windows. And we want to have the exact same thing for each one of the other windows. However, we also want to not only have that exact same thing for every single one of the windows, but we want to have the exact same design over here on the right side as well. So, on the front right hand corner of this side of the build, we want to begin once again with the 3 white concrete extending in. 1, 2, 3. 4 upside down stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to place a white concrete and then 4 more stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to place 3 white concrete on the end, extend forwards, and then place 4 stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, extending in. White concrete, 4 stairs, extending in, and then we can stick white concrete on the end, extend forwards, and then you can even extend in and up, just as we did on this little opposite side here. We can then even fill in between in the bottom here, although it doesn't really matter, like with having these extended up blocks. We will work on that particular section later. So now that we have marked out all of those windows on the front of the build, we are going to come over towards the back and we are going to mark out the back windows. They are not as extensive as the front windows. So we want to take this sticky out section on the back of the build and we want to raise up this corner block here by 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, using the white concrete, of course. We then want to extend this white concrete all the way over, and you simultaneously, which is going to be a bit difficult with one person, we want to kind of extend up the opposite side as well. So we kind of just want to extend over, join down, or join up and down. You guys get the idea. So now that we have done this kind of marks out the windows nicely. We are going to add a row of white concrete underneath this entire top row, just like this. And then, as we have ended up on the right side here, why not start here? So basically, we're going to place in this corner 1, 2, 3 pillar quartz extending down, upside down smooth quartz underneath, extend left by 3, 1, 2, 3. Place pillar quartz block extending up to join the white concrete, and then stick some tinted glass in the middle. We then want to place a row of white concrete left of the window, and then we want to copy this window. So 1, 2, 3, 4 upside down smooth quartz. We extend up the left and right side using pillar quartz block and place some tinted glass in between. We then want to come all the way over to the left side and do the exact same thing. So 1, 2, 3 pillar quartz, upside down stair, extend right by 3. I'll even stick a white concrete to the right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 stair. And then I'll place all of the quartz pillar or pillar quartz block. However, I swear it used to be called pillar quartz block, but I guess it's just quartz pillar now. Or is it pillar quartz? Yeah, quartz pillar, okay. Anyway, we'll place glass in between the quartz pillar, and we will be left with this. Now, what we can also do, as we are on the back of the build, is we can place a row of 1, 2, 3 white concrete, extending inwards from both sides of these windows here. And then we want to have another little window, but what we're basically going to do is just connect this white concrete together at the bottom, stick quartz pillar. That's gonna get weird. I really did think it was called pillar quartz block. It might have been some point in time, who knows. I probably made that up. And then we want to place tinted glass in between, and honestly that's kind of how these back sets of windows go. There is a little bit more detail, but I actually want to add that a little bit later. Okay, so now that we have completed those back windows, or completed as much of them as we are going to now, we are now going to make all of the front windows, of which there are quite a few. So I am going to be doing exactly this that we did a little bit earlier on the front left hand corner of the build to every single one of the other spaces. So now that we have taken care of the majority of the windows for this house, we are now going to take care of the entrance. Grab your pillar quartz or quartz pillar, I will never get that right ever again, and we want to come towards the center part of the front of the house. Leaving a gap of 1 extending outwards from the corner and then inwards, we then want to place 6 pillar quartz, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, extending up from the ground. So from this corner, leave a gap of 1, move inwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on the sides of these, we want to place stone brick stairs, and they want to extend out a row. We then want to place upside down stone brick stairs extending inwards on both sides, and then we want to build up layers of upside down stairs and regular on top of each other until they eventually reach a natural point, so it will look a little like this. So the very top will be a stone brick slab, and this will kind of case the actual entrance for our build. So we now want to make the entrance area. So the entrance is going to be set 1 row back from the middle of this area, as weird as that sounds. So I'm going to mark that out with a black concrete, extend the black concrete left and right, and then I'm going to make the black concrete 3 rows high, so 1, 2, 3. I'm going to place tinted glass on top. And then around the edge of this area, I'm going to place white concrete 1 row in front of this, but all the way around it. So it should make a little bit more sense like when you see it like this. And then we can decorate this area a little bit, so we can place, say, some smooth quartz slabs just up at the top of this area. We can even place like upside down quartz stairs just across the top as well. It just helps to frame the area a little bit better. And then it would help if a little bit more of this was filled in as well. So I'll just fill in a little bit just on the left and right and just above using some white concrete like this. And then if we are going to kind of like throw ourselves into the entrance a little bit more, we will need a few different materials. So we will now need the dark oak door, the dark oak fence, some brick stairs, some bricks, maybe even some black stained glass paint, some chains, some lanterns. We might even need some flower pots and some azaleas, and we actually need some other stuff as well. So the door, as I mentioned, is going to be just a dark oak door. This is going to be straight in the middle. Then, dangling down left and right of the door, we will have chains with lanterns hanging from them. Then we have to seal up the pillars here at the back, and I'm just going to use some dark oak fence for this, just directly behind the pillar block. We haven't actually made the rest of the roof yet, but that's okay, we can move on to that in a little second. We have to make the stairs for the entrance, so I'm going to get rid of this white concrete here and place a couple of rows of bricks in front of this doorway. brick stairs in front and then just down below, so just tapering down. Then I'm going to seal up the left and right side of this using bricks themselves. Then we're going to use, actually I might make this a little bit, I'm going to taper the bricks a little bit, and then I'm going to use black stained glass paint to kind of just decorate the edges of these stairs a little bit, and we'll have this extend down into the ground as well. So you could have it like this, or maybe we'll make it a full panel instead of having it like a little bit shaped. I think that that looks pretty cool. And the next thing that we are going to do is, whilst we are at it, just because we have the bricks at this point in time, I want you to dig a row of 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, in front of the steps area here, and I just want you to mark out a row of 10 using bricks. You don't have to fill it in quite yet. In addition to this, we are going to take the left and right sides, and we want to dig out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just fill those in with bricks. And we might, on this right side, because it's actually a little bit more important than the left, I want you to dig the right side out, not the entire right side, once again, we're just marking things out for now, all the way over to the edge of the house, and we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this will join back to the end. I just want to mark out where the drive is going to be. We're just at this particular point in the house, and we have the bricks, so we might as well just mark out where the drive is going to be. And it'll also help to kind of like piece things together a little bit. It's almost like a jigsaw. Like, the more pieces that you have fit in, the rest of the jigsaw seems to come a little bit more easily. So from this point here, we would start to shape the drive a little bit more. So from the corner, I want you to dig 1, 2 to the right, and then dig 2 down diagonally, 1, 2, and then we are going to dig all the way to the edge, or we'll actually dig into the boundary, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. So this is going to be, the drive is going to be, the road is pretty much 5 rows in width, the entire thing. So just like this, okay? And then we need to have like a bend here, but if you were to dig from the end here all the way inwards, and then we'll fill this in with bricks, and then we can just kind of like add a bit of a bend. And an easy way to do this is just to start with the corner, and we'll start with, say, like digging 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, so we've got like 3 blocks in either direction, and we can stick an additional block in the corner and then add another either side, and that way that looks pretty good. I mean, that looks like a pretty decent curve, and we will leave that exactly as is. Now, if you did want to connect the drive all the way over to where we are going to have a double garage, a garage, we are going to dig 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 rows to the left. And we just want this to be equal in width, of course, to the rest of the drive. And this will lead us to our garage. But we'll be making this, I don't know, I love to say garage. I don't know why, it just makes me happy. But that is our garage, and we just want to kind of have that marked out. And do you see what I mean? It just seems to make a bit of a difference to me that we've kind of got like something other than the skeleton of the house. Anyway, for the entrance of the house, as we have been removed from it a little bit, I'm going to plant a couple of plant pots just behind the glass here, and I'm going to chuck some azaleas in here. And I don't actually have it on me, it's in the other chest, annoyingly enough, but I wanted to use some moss carpet because I really like the moss carpet, I like the texture. And just a couple of rows to look like a mat just in front. For this little roof here, let's just get rid of all of this stuff, and the moss carpet's now causing some trouble, so we'll just grab the white concrete and the stone bricks and such. Oh, and if we grab actually also the pillar quartz and the tinted glass. So what we need to do is extend the white concrete here in the middle, just up. We're going to make it as high as the windows on the left and right. We'll make it as high as the white concrete that we do in fact have on the left and right. So what that allows us to then do is place the rest of this little mini roof here So we'll just build up these stairs. At the top here, we will have the stone brick slabs as well. Here, here, here too. Just coming all the way down, just looks a little bit better. On the inside, also we're going to want to do the exact same thing. So here, here, and then we'll fill this in. So that's looking pretty good. You can either leave this as quartz, or you could destroy it and turn it into tinted glass. I like both. You could even use black concrete also. But where we have the other sets of windows, so if you just basically follow the other windows along, we also want another window that is central to above the entrance. It's a 3x3 window using tinted glass with pillar quartz on the end, just to look like a bit of framing. It looks pretty good right there, slap bang in the middle of the front of the house. So yeah, there we go. That's looking pretty decent, isn't it? So now that we have done that, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to focus on the right side of the build a little bit. So there is what is known in the business a gazebo over here. So we need brick stairs, black stained glass pane. We also need everything else that we have, and I'm very subtly scanning. Oh, we need the cyan terracotta as well. So on the very right side of the build, there is only one on the build, so don't worry about the other side. We start from the front right hand corner here, move back one, and we want to place a row of 1, 2, 3 bricks extending outwards. We then want to place 1, 2 cyan terracotta extending right of the bricks, extend back 1, right 2, back 1, right 1, back 1, right 1, back by 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in 1, back 1, in, back, right 2, back 1, right 1, and then brick stairs extending and connecting to the house. We're then going to grab bricks themselves, and we are going to fill the center of this in with bricks. So we just want to have something which should look a little bit like this. It looks pretty good. So here, here, and here. We want to add a few rows of pillar quartz block in a few choice places. So we want to add pillar quartz block left and right of the brick, or rather, right of the bricks here, and then left of the bricks here, but we want to place rows of 1, 2, 3, 4 pillar quartz, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the two corners here on kind of like this flat part, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to place black stained glass pane just in between all of this, so it's just going to make a nice little, there we go, nice little edging for the gazebo. We also need, I didn't realize this, the smooth upside down quartz stairs. I wish that there was an upside down version instead of like having to do it ourselves, but basically this wants to get placed in such a way that the upside down smooth quartz stairs wants to be placed parallel to the cyan terracotta. So as you can see it here, like this, but it wants to grip as well. So it's going to take a little bit of trial and error here, right? And then what if we do this? I know it works. I know it does. Hang on. So what if we place this upside down, and then this way, and then this way in the corner. There we go. Okay, so that's exactly how it wants to look. Tricky. Anyway, it wants to get placed parallel to the upside down. It wants to get placed parallel to the cyan terracotta. And after that, we're going to stick a roof on this. So you see, we're going to end up with the same problem, aren't we? So we'll just reverse this a little bit. We'll reverse until it eventually lines up. That is perfect. Excellent. And then just across here, it will connect to the house. So the house, we will, of course, we just need to bump this up a little bit. And the house actually has a side entrance as well onto the gazebo. So I'm making a slight problem for myself by placing this white concrete here. But it's not really a big deal, actually. It's not a problem per se. It's just that I'm just going to have to break some of it. But that's perfectly fine. It's actually typically easier to build something into something than rather like build windows and then around them. But anyway, the entrance out onto the gazebo, it's very, very simple. We want to destroy the central block here and grab the dark oak doors. So that is like, this is where we start. Right in the middle, we have dark oak door. Left and right of this, we are simple. All the way around it, actually, we'll place black stained, black tinted glass. Or just tinted glass, as it were. And then pillar quartz on the left and right of the tinted glass. It's kind of it. I mean, if you want to, you could then place something above the door if you wanted to, but I mean, that might be a little bit played out, but it's kind of up to you. It will look a little bit supportive, especially from the outside. But once that has been done, we're going to grab... Oh, I already have it on me. I am not great at seeing things, apparently. So we're going to place stone brick slabs all the way around the edge of the top of the gazebo. So this is going to be a little bit time-consuming, but not too bad, actually. So like this. And then we're going to place inlays, just stone brick slabs up and above and inside of the gazebo. Just like this. Building up and up and up. Until we're eventually happy. I'm not even going to give you, like, a point of which, like, oh, you stop here. You just keep building these up, and eventually it'll reach a point where it's like, is that tall enough? Is that starting to look a little bit weird? If at any point you think that it looks, hey, that looks a little bit strange, like, kind of... If you ever think that, then it's probably time to just leave it. But this, yeah, here we go. So this is where you'd stop. Like, if you wanted to, you could, like, keep on going. You could add a strip here and such. But I actually think it reaches quite a nice little natural conclusion right there at the end. So I'm very happy with that. And now that we have done that, we are going to head towards the back of the house now. And we are going to build... I think it's time for us to build... kind of like what would be like a conservatory on the back of the house. Okay, so on the back of the build, I want you to come all the way to the bottom left-hand corner of this middle sticky out part, extend inwards 1, 2, and then begin by placing a row of 1, 2, 3 cyan terracotta extending out from that block. In front of and to the right of this, place a cyan terracotta, extend it forwards. Place 2 extended to the right cyan terracotta, so 1, 2. Extend right by 1. Place a cyan terracotta in front of and to the right, and then 2 more to the right. Place a cyan terracotta in front of and to the right, and then extend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks to the right. Then place a cyan terracotta back and right, right 2, back and right, right 1, back and right twice, so 1, 2, extend back 1, and then back and right, extend backwards. So now we actually want to extend every single one of these blocks upwards by 1, because this particular area is actually raised, but it's okay, we don't have to contend with that until a little bit later. So the next part of this is we want to grab, we actually need the white concrete again. So most of this is white concrete, this area here. On the left side and right side of the long part, we want to place 1, 2, 3 white concretes extending up, 1, 2, 3. And then we want to place tinted glass in between them. Kind of goes against what I said about the white concrete being the majority here. On the right of this, we want to place on the left and right of this row of 3, white concrete extending up. Actually, does pillar quartz look good on the left and right of this, extending up with some tinted glass in between? That might even look cool. We'll test that out a little bit. We then want to place white concrete on every single other area except the end here, and I'm thinking that we try out the pillar quartz block again. So on the end, it's a little bit different. We want to place pillar quartz block on the left and right sides with tinted glass in between, and we're just going to leave it like that, and you'll see why in just a second. So pillar quartz block on the left and right with glass in between. And then we'll just build up the rest of the area using white concrete. So we want white concrete pretty much absolutely everywhere except this row of 3 here. We're going to test out 1, 2, 3 pillar quartz. We can change it later if we don't like it, and some tinted glass. I kind of like it because it's a little bit of a contrast. So that's pretty fun. So The point of this is that we now want to grab some stone brick slabs, and we want to place stone brick slabs in front of the top of the long section of the conservatory. The stone brick slabs want to extend left and right until they overhang the side of this particular part of the build by 1 row. So just make sure that, and it's a little bit tricky because that part's a little bit smaller, but do make sure it overhangs by 1 row. And then it's as simple as this. We're only going to make the outline of this so far, but we will fill it in more later, like when we do the roof and that, because, you know, there's a lot of mass building in. But this is how the roof is going to look. It's going to be made out of stacked stone brick slabs. So what we will do after this has been filled in with these slabs, or you can even do it preemptively now, you can raise up your pillar quartz here and then place tinted glass in between here, and you can see where or how high you can actually place this stuff. So we might even have to do this with some of the concrete as well, so you can see how high you can place the glass and the pillar before it becomes a problem. So obviously, like, this will be just fine. And then here on the side as well, like where that is not concrete, so here would be fine as well. And then so on and so forth, that will be fine, that will be fine, and then this here. So if we come onto this opposite side, so add a row here, here, this wants to be 1 higher. You guys get the idea. So obviously the roof just wants to be able to slot on top of there, no problem. We then want to have pillar quartz. So if we have, let me place a stone brick here. So we also want to have 2 quartz pillars extending down from the corner. So like 1 here on this side, and then just like literally if in this corner you just place a stone brick slab here and then a quartz pillar extending down to the corner here, then that's looking pretty good. So next up, we want to kind of like mark out where the raised part of this area actually encompasses. So we're going to use, what are we going to use for this? Should we use upside down? We'll use upside down smooth quartz stairs because I think this looks quite good. So if we start from the inward corner here and then move left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we want to place upside down smooth quartz stairs extending outwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And this last block here, you can even turn it into, say, like a white concrete. We are then going to simply just leave a gap of 2. And then across the side here, I mean, we might even place a white concrete. And then we basically just want to emulate what we have on this side all the way over to the right. So we'll place upside down smooth quartz stairs, extending all the way over to the right. And then when we get to a certain point, we'll just extend from the house so that we don't have to count it out. Or I actually have this handy grid, but a lot of you guys won't, or any of you guys won't have this extra bit. So from the corner here, we simply want to leave a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on this 5th block, we want to place upside down smooth quartz stairs. Now we don't have to count these out because we can just line up the end here, stick a white concrete, gap of 2, white concrete, upside down smooth quartz stair. And then on top of these sides, we're going to stack ourselves some white concrete. And then we'll place some... That is not glass. I genuinely thought that empty space with black stained glass pane. So we'll place some glass on the sides. We'll place glass on the front. So the middle, the front here, is actually meant to be 1 row lower than the side, so that's perfectly fine. And then on the sides we will stick an extra row of white concrete with then the black stained glass pane on top, so just like this. And then, so I'm not going to do this now, but I just wanted to kind of like mark out the area. All of this is going to be bricks, so this is why we've made the conservatory a little bit higher. This is all going to be bricks, leading into, of course, the house, where we will have 2 entrances / exits. So here, And the entrances slash exits aren't too difficult to make, but it's basically what we have on the side over there. And it's just a little bit wider, actually. We might not even need the doors, but essentially, we want to, behind this white concrete here, we can place 1, 2, 3 pillar quartz. And then in this corner, 1, 2, 3. Dark oak door in the middle. Tinted glass all the way around. And then stairs. Oh, we actually have them already. Stairs over the top. Again, very reminiscent of what we have over the side, except I've actually dropped this a little bit just to make it look a little bit different. And then the exact same thing over here on the side as well. So let's place 1, 2, 3. And it is 3, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And then we have the glass. We could make it 4 because once we stick the door here. Actually, no, because I like it a little bit dropped, honestly. So here, the exact opposite of my ice cream. I like it not dropped. So we have those doors. We've got the conservatory mapped out. We can fill that all in with bricks later. We are also going to have 2 chimneys as well. So actually, we'll make that later. It's actually not a big deal. We're actually rapidly approaching the point here, ladies and gentlemen, where it is time for us to build the actual house itself. So, like, to build up the white concrete for the walls of the house, and that is exactly what we are going to do. So this next part is incredibly simple yet time consuming. We are going to build up and in between all of the white concrete that we have on top of the cyan terracotta base. So everywhere that we have white concrete on top of the cyan terracotta base, in between all of the windows, as high as all of the white concrete that we have placed before, we want to have white concrete. That's pretty much all there is to it. We simply want to fill in the gaps and we want to make them as high as the rest of the white concrete. There we go. That is looking so much better. So the next thing that we are going to do is build up the roofs a little bit. Maybe not in their entirety, but we will certainly be doing the majority of this right now. Probably the entire thing, actually. So the roofs are split into 2. We have one on the left, one on the right that are both the same, and then we have one in the middle that is different. So the left and right roofs are very simple. We simply place stone brick stairs extending across the top of the build like this on the right and left sides inside of these alcoves. The windows actually also typically have smooth quartz stairs just up above them like this, so it kind of like connects to the top here. And then the stairs kind of function in the exact same way that you might expect these stairs to go. So it's literally just upside down, regular, upside down, regular, upside down, regular, until it eventually reaches an apex. So depending upon how you want to do it, I mean, there's a million different ways to do this. So like, you can do it like this, where you kind of like make each end meet just on the end, because the very ends of the roof want to overhang the white concrete anyway, and they do also want to have the upside down component. So if you want, you can kind of like make the edge of the roof from this way, and eventually it will reach together at the top, stone brick block in the middle with a slab on top, and then from there, if you then want to, we can then place the white concrete just to cover up the middle part of the roof, and then this kind of gives you a template to then be like, oh, I see exactly what to do here. So all you then would have to do is, of course, extend all of these stone bricks inwards to meet the middle part of the roof, but I would only extend them as far as here, because this side is going to be a bit different. So cool, that's roof number 1. Well, roof number 2 is a tad bit different in the fact that it'd actually be easier. We could even use cyan terracotta for this. It might look good, it might look bad. But anyway, the point is, we want to add cyan terracotta or stone bricks to the top front of the build like this, right? So just on the left and right of the sticky out part of the entrance. And then we are going to have an entire flat section of stone brick stairs. Otherwise, previously, if we would have just split it into the alcove, the roof would have jutted out in a rather strange fashion. To which then these sets of stairs here then want to, of course, well, I mean, we're just doing the exact same thing pretty much. So we just want to have the exact same thing translate over to the back of the house. But we want to make sure that it's even. So the back of the house, so basically I'm just going to do this with the stairs. I'm going to mark out the edge of it, and then we are going to mass fill it in, because I just want to make sure that the roof is going to be in the correct place. So I do want the apex to be in the exact same position as it is on the side. So just to make sure, like this should be the center point of the build here, right? So let's just extend this up a bit. So this should be the center point. So once it hits this middle part, we want to make the middle here and then drop it back down. And the only reason that I'm doing this is because the back of the build is a little bit different than the front of the build, of course. Like, the front of the build sticks out a little bit more. But I want, from the side of the build, I want it to look as though that the roof is even on the... Like, I don't want the roof to drop more on the front than it does the back, if that makes sense. And hopefully some of you guys know what I'm talking about, so we just want to upside down here, regular here, and upside down here, regular here, upside down, regular. So if you see what I mean, like if we went from here, then the roof would be ever so slightly slanted. However, if we add the cyan terracotta just here, as we did on the front, you can see exactly where the roof is going to go. Another 2 points to consider, although actually I think that it's going to be easier after the roof has been done. So I think that you guys can see exactly what is going to come next. I am going to make the opposite frame for that opposite side of the house. I'm going to fill in all the roofs, including that one around the back. And then, well, I guess it's time to move on because business does not stop. So, next up, we are going to, now that we have an entire roof, we have even added the bricks here, just outside for the patio to connect to the conservatory. You may have noticed that towards the end of the time lapse. We have to add 2 giant chimneys. So, the chimneys are made out of bricks, brick stairs, brick wall, and also flower pots. So, it's pretty much this. Directly next to both entrances, these are on both sides. They are 3 rows wide. They go all the way up high, so they're actually going to interfere with the roof. I kept debating earlier on whether or not to place these first or second, but I decided to place them second. They are 2 rows thick in total, like this. So 3 rows wide, 2 rows thick. Make the brick portion as high as the... I think I missed this one. Make the brick portion of this about as high as this roof, if not a couple of rows lower. They don't want to be too high, to be quite honest with you. We could make it so that the bricks are, say, one level or so less, because I think that the chimney would look better if it wasn't so insanely huge. So, like, from the front of the build, we don't want it to, like, tower out of the top. So, here we go. We then want to place upside down brick stairs on the front and the back, brick wall on the front and the back of what we've just placed, and then flower pots on the brick wall. And this is the end result. And from the front, there we go, that's probably about the perfect height. From the front, you can still see them. They look quite cool, and we want 2 of them, so we're actually going to have this on the opposite side as well. So how tall did I make this? It'd be easier for me to copy it, to be quite honest with you. We could even make them a little bit thicker if we wanted to. So did I? I'm going to have to check because of what. I think I made it 1 row lower than the... No, I made them the same. I can't tell by looking at it. I think that the bricks are 1 row lower than the overall roof height. When in doubt, guys, when in doubt. There we go. So I'm pretty sure it's about there. I really want them to be the same height on both sides, otherwise even 1 block I will notice, I guarantee it. So 3 rows wide at the back. This would be so much faster with World Edit. I don't know why I'm not using this. 3 rows wide at the back. And then we add another row in front. And then the walls on both... Oh, well, and then the upside down stairs. And then the walls on the front and the back. So, now that we've got this, upside down stairs, on the front, on the back, wall, 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 flower pots, and are these the same height? If they're not, I'm going to be a little bit upset. I think, though, they're actually perfectly the same height. So that's lovely. That's exactly what we wanted. That is perfect. So, in doing that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm kind of at an impasse. We can either completely finish the house portion of this, and speaking of finishing the house, how did that slip through? There's a whole strip of white here missing. I bet some of you guys noticed that and you're like, no, fill it in. So now that we have done that, I think that we're going to make the garage, then we're going to finish the house. I don't know why we're doing the garage first. Finish the house completely, finish the front, then finish the back. I think that that is the order that we're going for. So, the garage or garage. First of all, let's grab the stuff that we need for it. We need pretty much mostly what we already have. So we'll need the white concrete, stone brick stairs. We will need the tinted glass. Am I missing this? I don't know where that's gone. I guess we'll just grab some more tinted glass. And we will also need maybe a bit of glass pane. We need these stone brick slabs. We need the dark oak doors. And that might be it. Some stone bricks might help a little bit, but other than that, some upside down quartz stairs. Again, I keep calling them that. Oh, we need the cyan terracotta as well. There we go. That should be everything. So, once we have all of that stuff, come all the way to the front left-hand corner of the house. You want to count in front of the corner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 row forwards from this, we place a cyan terracotta. We then place 2 cyan terracottas behind, 1, 2, and then we place 5 stone bricks extending from the second terracotta towards the front of the house, or towards the front of the actual overall grid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place a white concrete, and then 5 more stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. White concrete. Then place a cyan terracotta in front. In front of that, from the first cyan terracotta, extend left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place a door. Place a cyan terracotta on the end of the door, and then extend across the back of the build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Extend 1 row towards you, and then left, and then forwards to join all the way back. So it's a little bit of a complex shape. This is what we should be looking at. So with this, we are going to add 2 additional layers of stone brick stairs on top of what we already have. Okay, just like this. We're going to extend up white concrete left and right of these stone brick stairs. And these want to be 4 rows high in total, so we also want to add a split in between the garage doors and just here on the right. So 4 rows high in total. We already have 1 row with the cyan terracotta, so 2, 3, 4, just like this. You can place white concrete on top of the stone brick stairs, but then in front of that, upside down smooth quartz stairs, just like this. That's perfect. And then to the left of all of this, we want to have a window. This is nearing the end. If you start from this corner, place a couple of white concrete and then 2x2 tinted glass or black stained glass pane, it doesn't matter which. We then want to make the white concrete as high as the rest of the white concrete. We could even place another window here on the side as well, so we could go for a double window situation here. So similarly to what we have on that side, a row of 2 white and then 2x2, and then we'll extend this across, and we will have... Actually, let's make this a double door because that's actually a bit more symmetrical this way. So it's like 2, 2, 2, and then there's 1 on the end, but it's perfectly fine. The rest of this little area here essentially wants to be white concrete. So, on top of all of the cyan terracotta, essentially we're just going to make it white concrete. We're then going to do the roof. So, the roof is a little bit more complicated, otherwise I would simply just time-lapse this. But, the roof. So, the roof starts on the... We'll start it on the right side of the build, right? And we'll just place some stone brick stairs. Always wants to overhang a row by 1 over the front, and then we're going to place upside down and regular facing stone brick stairs until we reach the middle point of the garage here. So to help further visualize this, behind these stairs, I'm going to place a row of tinted glass, and then a row of 3 on top of the middle, and then an additional one. So this is kind of the shape of the roof here, so we're going to place another stone brick stair, stone brick block in front of it, and then 1 on top to reach an apex. And then we're going to start coming back down. But we have a little bit of a tricky situation because we'll hit this point, right? And then we want to place a stone brick, flare it down with a slab. I double click there. Flare it down with a slab. And then we want to start going up again. So we kind of want to mirror what we have on the opposite side, to which we will eventually hit the top again. So we'll do this, stick a stone brick slab on top of it, and then we have the stone brick stairs and the upside down, and the stone brick stairs, and upside down, and stone brick stairs, and upside down, and stone brick stairs, and we will join back to this part here, so the garage. We are then going to add glass inside here. Yes, that is perfect. So just kind of how we did. And then, if you can imagine it, like this part of the roof is just going to extend back like this. So this part of the roof will simply, it'll extend back, and it will just go, it will sit alongside the white concrete that we have already placed, like this. And then we will place a series of stone brick stairs along the edge of the roof. And we are then going to build up the rest of the roof in a very normal way. So these outer blocks here will connect from one side to the other, and then we will have these central blocks which we will just carve out a little bit of a crevice. It will kind of look like a love heart shape. And then the left side of the roof here is we're actually just going to have a flat roof using stone brick slabs sitting on top of the left side of the garage. So that is the garage essentially complete. There's a little bit more to it, but we will cover that later. The next thing that I want to take care of is the fountain. There is a fountain on the lawn out front. I don't think we actually have all of the stuff we even need for it, but you know, we'll see. So we need all of the quartz blocks. So smooth quartz stairs, smooth quartz slab. We might incorporate a little bit of quartz pillar. I'm not ruling that out. And then we will need stuff from the other chest. So we will need like the diorite wall, the light grey glazed terracotta, some water buckets, some sea lanterns, and that might be it for this particular portion. So let's just leave it at that, I think. Okay, the fountain. Luckily, we already have this row of free grass in amongst the bricks. Well, this is how wide the fountain is going to start off. And we are going to leave a gap of 3, so 1, 2, 3 from the bricks here. This is where the fountain's going to begin. And we're going to begin with a row of 3 quartz stairs facing backwards, going like this way. And then we will have, in the corners, extending out, solid, or maybe we'll use this. We'll use quartz pillars extending from the corners, like this. And then extending outwards again, we'll have smooth quartz stair, gap, smooth quartz stair. Then in the corner here, we will have quartz pillar. Across the front, 1, 2, 3 quartz stair. Quartz pillar in the corner. Across the side here, smooth quartz stair, gap, smooth quartz stair. Then extending out from the stairs, we want to have rows of 1, 2, 3 quartz slab. Or smooth quartz slab, 1, 2, 3. And then on the corners, or we could turn these into solid shapes, like instead of circles, we could have, I think I prefer the circles, using the smooth quartz slab. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just like this. Then in the center of the fountains, we want to have sea lanterns. So these will actually drop a little bit, actually. There's no point in me even placing these, because in the center fountain there is, actually, because all we're going to do for the center fountain is we are going to simply just dig out all this grass here, replace it using glazed terracotta, because I just like how glazed terracotta looks. And then the center, we're just going to place 1, 2, 3 diorite wall extending up. But on the sides, we're going to drop down. So we're going to dig, place a stair, and then we'll have to dig a couple of rows out of the fountain. So the fountains will actually sit an additional row below. And then we're going to, once again, we'll fill the basin using terracotta. And then, how about this? Underneath the slabs, we'll use pillar quartz, because it's nice to have an interesting array of textures, I think. So we'll do that. And I want to get it done on the opposite side as well. So dig this out, smooth quartz stairs, dig all of this out, in the middle sea lantern, and then dig the remaining dirt, terracotta, the glazed terracotta, and then underneath all of the grass, anything that we might be able to see, we want to otherwise cover with pillar quartz. So just like this. Nice. Then I would recommend doing, honestly, I'd recommend just filling these little side bits in with water, just to start off with, like this. I think that it's not flowing, I think it's still. And then, all we have to do, add a water bucket to the very top of the fountain, where we have the diorite. You'll still see it stick out, and it will just flow. And there you go, that's all you have to do. And it's kind of like a nice little feature, just in the center part of our palatial estate, some might call it. That's what I call it. So now that that is done, we are going to work on the house, and we are going to complete the actual house. Okay, so first of all, something that we have to do on both sides of the house, but we'll just start on this left side, is we have to make an overhang for the windows on the bottom part of the house. So we start off, we leave a gap of 1 from the wall, and then we place stone brick stairs across the top of the windows like this. And then behind these, we place upside down, well, they're not upside down, some of them, hang on. So we place upside down stone brick stairs behind these, and then on top of those, we place just good old regular stone brick stairs. So that is perfect. What we then want to do, and of course we'll do that on the other side, but we kind of want to crack on a little bit. We're going to get rid of the stone brick stairs. We've got the smooth quartz stairs, and smooth quartz stairs want to get placed in front of the top of every upper story window, every upper story, and also every lower story window that is on the middle part of the house. So instead of the stone, we've got the quartz on the middle part. Now, for every ground story level window, is that ground story? That sounds weird, but anyway, ground level window. We want to place iron trapdoors on the base of the window frame. And then we want to have a couple of pots on these in any sort of order. It's up to you, but I'm kind of sticking to the same sort of vibe. Couple of pots on the right, lantern on the left, and then a mixture of ferns, poppies, or saplings, or whatever you might like inside the pots, like this. Something that you may also want to do, and this is also, you know, it's kind of like up to you whether you want to do this, so, you know, you might want to add some vines to the house. I'd use them sparingly, and I'd also probably only leave it to the lower level. On the upper level of the house, every single upper story window, we want to have a row of grass here in front of the bottom of the window, just like this. We're then going to place oak trapdoors in front of and underneath the grass. On the sides of these planters, you may want to add additional trapdoors, although not necessary. And then fill them in with kind of like the good old regular mix of ferns and saplings and poppies and stuff. And that's all we're going to do for the upper level. And we are going to do that all the way around the house. So you can imagine this is going to be rather time consuming. So there we go, those are all of the windows decorated on the front and the back of the build. We don't really have any low windows on the back of the build, so the upper windows is all we need to do. So, on the back of the build as well, just whilst we're here, I'm going to grab a dark oak fence, oak leaves, I'm going to keep my flower pots, I'm also going to grab smooth quartz stairs, and we need scaffolding. So, on the sides of the build, I'm going to... How does this work out exactly? If we start from the end here, might be the better play here. So if we start from the end of this long wall, we leave a gap of 2, place a fence. Gap of 2, place a fence, so on and so forth, until we eventually come back towards the house. Place a couple of leaves on top of those fence, and there you go. That's all you've got to do. Perfect. We'll do that on both sides. So we'll start from this end here, gap of 2, fence, gap of 2, fence, gap of 2, fence, gap of 2, fence, so on and so forth until eventually we get back to the house, place a couple of leaves on it, and it looks pretty good. Simple, but good looking. Then we want to have a couple, a little seating area really. So the seating area, I just want one on either side. And we'll place it in such a way that it's kind of in between this pillar here and in between this pillar. And I don't mind if it connects diagonally. So I want a 2x2 table of scaffolding, a couple of seats either side, or one seat either side, flower pots with some nice stuff in them. And that's all we're going to do. I want at least one lantern because it kind of like brightens up the area, but I just want it on both sides. That will do. Here, we'll put a flower in one of them, fern in the other, and then that looks nice. It's not too crowded, it's kind of perfect. I love how that comes out. That looks fantastic. So in doing that, and since we are at the back of the house, I'm thinking that we do the next sort of large project, which is, it's kind of marked out already. We have a rather large pool area. So, for the rather large pool area, we have to do a bit of digging. This is a little bit easier for me than it might be for you. The digging begins directly in front of, say, the left side here of this wall. We want to dig 14 rows, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We dig all the way across, just like this. Takes a little while, all the way across. And we connect it all the way back to the opposite corner. Cool. So, we want to dig out this entire area. But we also want to dig 6 rows down in total. So this is already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think I double clicked there. It actually doesn't matter. It can be a little bit deeper. It's completely fine. But let's. But I kind of want to know. 1. So we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, no, that's fine. So for me, this is no issue. For you, that might take a little second. So imagine you may have to pause this, quite honestly. So all of that completely dug out. This entire area dug out 6 rows down. We have to create some stairs. So the stairs is pretty much just made out of bricks and brick stairs. The stairs start from where we have these bricks here, and we just want to start off with a 2x2 square of bricks like this, extending out from the patio. We want to lead these a couple of rows down. Let's make it 3. We'll lead these 3 rows down using actual bricks like this. And these bricks, well, why am I adding another row? And these bricks will extend towards the center, but not too much, not too much. So 1, 2, 3 layers of bricks extending down. It doesn't have to be too perfect at the moment. And then it'll have a couple of rows of bricks actually extending inwards. Now, here's the thing. We also want to grab smooth quartz stairs, cyan terracotta, and we also need, it's in the chest, but I'll just grab it myself, the orange glazed terracotta, difficult to say for some reason. And we also need the smooth quartz slab. So, this is where things are a little bit tricky, but hey. We want to have smooth quartz stairs placed where the long part of the conservatory begins, and the stairs want to sit on top of the bricks. So here. So if we work from both sides, so here, and then they will fall down, they'll fall about here? Yeah? Okay, cool. And they'll sit on top of bricks. We then want to, underneath said stairs, have cyan terracotta, like this. And the cyan terracotta wants to extend out by 3 rows from the stairs. So 1, 2, 3. We then want to connect these. So first of all, we want to add a diagonal cyan terracotta extending out on both sides, and then we want to connect them together as such. I'm thinking about making this a little bit smaller, but I actually quite like it, to be quite honest with you. So just like this, and we might even have to move the stairs an additional row outwards, because I might have placed these stairs. It's okay if this is a little bit bigger, honestly. So we'll move the stairs an additional row outwards. We will then bump this. Okay, so this is what we'll do. We'll place cyan terracotta on top of the previous cyan terracotta. So we've not placed anything incorrectly. And then we will have stairs on the opposite side of the stairs that we've just placed, okay? And then we will place smooth quartz slab on top of the cyan terracotta. This is looking pretty good. There we go. And then we will place orange glazed terracotta inside of the first layer of cyan terracotta. So this will actually work out rather nicely. So it'll just end up looking a little something like this. That's perfect. So something that we have to do as well is we have to make the back of this. So behind all of this, we want to make this cyan terracotta. And I'll actually do this myself instead of using World Edit, because that would be a bit too easy. So all of this wants to be cyan terracotta. But we are rapidly approaching the point where there's quite a bit of digging to do. So we'll place this here, dig all of this out, place this here, and we'll take a look at how it looks. This looks a lot better once the rest of the pool is attached as well. So there we go. It's nice and even. It's a good size. Yeah, okay, this is perfect. So this is almost like a little chill out sort of hot tub. The base of the... So what we have to do as well is we have to take the bricks that we placed and we kind of want to add bricks underneath. So this little walkway here, we want to fill underneath these stairs in with bricks like this. We want to have an edge to the pool. So we want to have smooth quartz slabs above the outside of this. I hope this makes sense. The smooth quartz slabs above the outside of the area, or on top of the outside of the area that we've dug out. Does that even make sense? Hopefully it does by looking at it, but that didn't sound like it made sense. But you can hopefully see that this is like the pool edge, like this, right? So then, now that we have this, we want to place smooth quartz slabs in front of the lower half of the bricks, like so. And then I am going to make this a little bit easy for myself in a second. So now that we have that, we then want to make the, and I don't want to time lapse this, so I want to make the base of the pool. I think that we're going to go for just good old regular smooth quartz. So we'll make the base of the pool smooth quartz. This is the very bottom, okay? So we'll make the very bottom smooth quartz. And again, you may have to pause this. You may have to just watch it and then just follow it back like that. The base of the pool is going to be smooth quartz. Underneath the, and as a matter of fact, this will help as well. The sides of the pool are going to be cyan terracotta. So we will set that. So the sides of the pool underneath where we placed the smooth quartz slabs will be cyan terracotta. We'll just get all of that placed. I'm sorry that I'm not commentating this very well. It's because I'm I'm trying to type and I'm trying to explain myself and everything at the same time. But there we go. So bottom of the pool is smooth quartz. Underneath all of the smooth quartz slabs that we've placed, that's all cyan terracotta. We want to have cyan terracotta underneath where we have these smooth quartz slabs here, and in addition to that, the sort of like, imagine air quotes here, underneath the hot tub, we want to extend these down and connect into the base of the pool, just like this. But we also want to implement some sea lanterns as well, and I believe that the sea lanterns go every third block. Actually, that doesn't seem like it works out at all. So, maybe not. Maybe we'll do every two. So 2 sea lantern, 2 sea lantern, 2 sea lantern, 2 sea lantern. Okay, yeah, actually, that works. Whoops, there we go. That works out perfectly. So we will do this on both sides. So here, 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 here. And then on this opposite side, 2 sea lantern, 2 sea lantern, 2 sea lantern, 2 sea lantern. And I think that we're just missing water at this point. Yeah, we're just missing water. Okay, so the hot tub will actually be easier to fill in just using good old water buckets, because I want to also just flip these stairs as well. I think that that's looking pretty decent. Now, this is where, once again, my old pal World Edit comes in handy. So I'll place a cyan terracotta here and here. And I'm just going to fill in the empty space using water. So if we just... There we go. Nice. And then we just have to remove those 2 blocks, otherwise they will not get replaced because they are not air. Those get replaced with water, and that is the pool. And I think that that looks really, really cool. Like, it's a split level. It connects to the patio. We've got like an interesting feature in the middle. Very, very happy with the pool. This could actually be even reduced an additional block, but it is kind of satisfying that it sits in the middle. So, you know, it's up to you whether you want to reduce the size of anything or make anything bigger. So now that we have done that, ladies and gentlemen, I have a little bit of a quandary. A quandary which I have just thought about and decided off screen. So, what are we going to do next? This is the thing. We are going to make the rest of the back of the house, because there's only 2 big things left to make, and they are pretty decent sized things as well. So, out of the back of the pool, we want to have a couple of rows of bricks. These rows of bricks will extend all the way to the outer boundary of our house. However, they will remain 2 rows away from the wall that will eventually be there. Could I use World Edit for this? Yes. Am I trying not to be lazy? Yes. So, all the way over, we want to leave a 2-row gap, and then we've got the grid. So that's on both sides, and this is going to get filled in with bricks. It doesn't have to be done now, but I'll make end row bricks, and I'll do a lot of stuff with World Edit as we wrap up towards the video, all of the little tiny details and stuff that we have to add that's just going to be better in a montage form than watching me painstakingly plant one of the 500 trees that's probably on this house, on the property. But anyway, we want to have bricks run all the way along the back here, and these bricks are going to kind of connect to a series of pathways, which, I mean, you might have already sort of like figured out, like, we'll have a path leading from, say, here, all the way to the end of the courts, on that side to the gazebo, etc, etc. We've got a bunch of bricks laying around, but we want to make the... First of all, we're going to do the basketball court, and it's going to lay on the left side here. We want to begin digging a row of 37, starting from the left in front of these bricks, going right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. I'm going to fill all this in with terracotta. Some of it will get replaced with stone, but I kind of want to... I want to get the row set in stone, is what I was about to say, which is kind of funny, really. What we now want to do is extend this 37th terracotta backwards by 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And we'll fill all this in with terracotta, and we will make a rectangle. We will make a rectangle by extending the end row here all the way across, and we will join it to where we first... That actually does have to be grass. And we will join it all the way to where it very first started, and we'll just have a nice big rectangle once it has been filled in with terracotta. You don't understand the urge I have to use World Edit right now. So now that we have placed terracotta like this, we have to make a smaller rectangle inside of this rectangle. So basically, leaving a gap of 2 all the way around the inside, we want to make the smaller rectangle. And it's up to you how you do it. You can leave a gap, so like you can count from the corners, and you can place like a white concrete in each one of the 4 corners and then connect them together. But if you think that you're quite capable of literally just leaving a gap of 2, just going all the way around, then this it's a little bit faster to do it this way. After that, you want to fill in the row using, or rows, I guess it's one big row, using white concrete, as these are going to be the markings for our basketball court. And then we have to make some of the markings on the ground as well. So now that we have our rectangle, we want to start from either side, on either side. So I'm going to start on the left, and I'll start towards the front. I'm going to leave a gap of 2, so leave a gap of 1, 2, dig, extend inwards 1, 2, 3, and then inwards diagonally 1, 2. Come to the opposite side, do the same thing. Gap of 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend inwards diagonally 2, join together, so join both sides together, and then fill the hole in using white concrete, like this. We then want to make the middle, so you need to find the middle of this box. It shouldn't be too hard to do. The middle of the box will have 5 blocks on the left and 5 blocks on the right. We want to place a red terracotta and then extend that outwards, kind of like this. You can... What looks better? This might look a little bit better, like this, so just a 2x3. Come to the opposite side of the grid, do the same thing, so gap of 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, extend inwards diagonally by 2, leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, extend inwards 2, join together at the end to make a semicircle. And once this has been filled in using the white concrete, we want to find the middle of the circle, dig all around it, replace it all using red terracotta. We have to find the center of the court, so that shouldn't be too hard. I think it's this row. I'm gonna take a bit of a gamble and say it's this row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. That's the middle of the court. Just make sure it's even on both sides. Add a row of white straight up the middle, just like this. We then want to add a square of red terracotta directly in the center of the court. If you manage to find the center of the semicircles, this shouldn't be too difficult to do yourself, and you'll see that it kind of just lines up nicely. So now that we have done that, we have to make the baskets. The baskets are made, I'm placing them just on the outside of the grid here, in the middle of the red, well, it's not a circle, is it? Red rectangle. 1, 2, 3 black stone on top of each other, polished black stone wall, red terracotta. Underneath and to the sides of the red terracotta, we want to place smooth quartz slabs on the left and right sides, and then across the top. Then, to finish this off, we simply place a cobweb underneath the red terracotta, oak sides, like this, just all the way around the web, and there you go. Easy peasy. Want to do this on the opposite side too, so on the opposite side, 1, 2, 3, whoops, 3 polished black stone wall, red terracotta on top, then smooth quartz slab just underneath and to the left and right, extend it up and over, web in front of the wall, oak sign around the edge of the web, and there you go. That is essentially the basketball court. Now, when it comes to the basketball court, I'm making the center of my basketball court stone. Feel free to change it, and feel free to also, you know, pause the video, because I'm just going to do that. There we go. So replace the grass using stone or whatever it might have. Again, cyan terracotta would work nicely as well. I'm also going to add a wall around this too. So I'm going to add a wall. First of all, I kind of want the wall to be, say, 1, 2, 3 rows high. It doesn't have to be bigger than the basket. So I'm going to add rows of terracotta on the corners here, the front 2 corners. And then I want to have a row. Maybe I'll make it a bit higher on the back. I'll have a row of terracotta that is 4 rows high on the back, extending left and right. So let's take a look at this. Perfect. And then I want to have chains pretty much for all of the other walls. And the chains only want to be 3 rows high, don't they? So, or I should say iron bars, not chains. My bad. I don't know. I think it's because I was thinking of chain link fence. That's why I called them chains. But we kind of want to have this chain link fence in the form of iron bars. So there we go. That's looking pretty good. Same on the front too. So just across the front. Again, I'll say this one last time. If at any point you have to pause the video just to kind of like, you know, keep up, then feel free. But this is like insanely time consuming, and it's honestly just better for the video to just reduce the time, just to do like little bits like that. Things that don't require any sort of finesse or detail, it's easier just to kind of like do that. And there we go. That's the first court that we have made. This is the basketball court. If you want to make it a little bit more interesting, I would add it doesn't have to be too fancy, just an orange shulker box in the center. There we go. Nothing to it. And that's perfect. So once you have made your basketball court, we are going to come all the way over to the very opposite side here. Very opposite side. And we are going to grab terracotta once more. We'll also need orange terracotta. Let's see what we need. We need lime terracotta. We'll need the white concrete. We will need diorite wall, white stained glass pane, and then just kind of like iron bars. And then that's kind of it, to be honest. So, starting from the end here, digging inwards from the end brick here, we want to dig a row of 31. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So, once we have dug this row of 31, we're going to place terracotta in here, and then take either end and dig the end backwards by 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Perfect. Then we're going to dig across, and we're just going to join back to where we very first started. So I can't actually see it because it's blending in with the bricks. So I'll just come over to this side, and there we go. I'll just come over to this side and fill it in this way. So all this is going to be terracotta, and I will point out as well, because here as well, but it actually looks quite good. You can replace this with stone, but I actually quite like it. Looks fine with just terracotta for the entrance as well. So let's get all of this placed. And then once we've done this, we actually have to, once we've made the edge of this terracotta, we have to do the same thing that we did with the basketball court, in that we have to, leaving a gap of 2 all the way around, dig a row of white concrete, so leave a gap of 2, and then we want to dig a rectangle of white concrete into the ground. So when I say dig it into the ground, we're going to dig it and then replace it with white concrete. It'd be kind of cool if by left clicking, it kind of just transformed the grass into white concrete. That would actually be very, very, very useful. But let's turn all of this into white concrete, and then we can start on the markings. The tennis court is relatively easy as well. It's a little bit easier than the basketball court, which you guys might or might not be happy about. I don't know, maybe you like complex stuff, but let's get all of this turned into a rectangle. Just got another row over here. Right, yes, no, maybe, hang on. Yeah, perfect. Cool. So, now that we have done that, we have to add 2 rows of white concrete inside of our grid. So, leaving a gap of 1 from the edge at the top and the bottom, we are going to add 2 horizontal rows of white concrete. So, this wants to be a long, smooth run of white concrete. 1 row away from the very end of the pre-existing row. So, from one end to the other, just like this, I'm sure that you guys can see exactly what you're supposed to do. Now, there has to be some other vertical rows. So these vertical rows, we have 3 of them. They are 5 rows apart from each other. So if we start from the end here, and we don't have them in here, it's in the big box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leave a gap of 5, dig, place a white concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dig, white concrete. That should actually be the middle. So if then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, dig, white concrete, that should leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the end. So you can see we have 3 rows of white concrete evenly spaced, and we are going to dig these out and connect both sides of the court together. So once we've done that, and by the way, correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I actually think this is right. The middle row does kind of cut the entire court in half. So take that middle row, cut the entire court in half. The other 2 rows, we do not want to do that. So what I mean is this. We need 1 more horizontal row of white concrete. So this is directly in the middle of the court. I think this is it. I'm going to take another look. And this splits the center box in half. It kind of makes it look like a Christmas present. I think that that's actually perfect. But just to be sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows on one side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows on the opposite side. Very good. So what we then do is we take the middle of the ends at the top and the bottom of the court. We place diorite wall. We place 2 rows of diorite wall. We take the second row and we place white stained glass pane extending from one side of the diorite wall to the other side, which I haven't placed yet here, and it will connect together to make a net. Here we go. This is it, guys. That is the difficult part of the court made. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fill this in rather quickly. So I'm going to replace the grass block using... So the center of the court can actually be whatever you like it, but I like lime terracotta. And then I'm going to take the outer edge and I'm actually going to make it orange terracotta. I did a similar thing with a park that I made not so long ago. It might even be right next to this video, I don't even know. But I think that this looks quite nice. But tennis courts come in all different shapes and sizes, so it's kind of up to you how you want it to look. And then we're literally going to do the same thing that we did over there onto here. So we'll place 1, 2, 3, terracotta, just terracotta to form a wall, 1, 2, 3. Along the back row of 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 4? 1, 2, 3, yeah. So I'm going to make the entire back terracotta, so set terracotta. We want to have iron bars. The iron bars only want to be 3 rows. So here, here, and here. We'll just have to make a bit of a space here. So here. I can't actually remember what I did for... I think I just left a gap of 1 actually, and then I just have a single space. And then here. And then here. Whoops. Happens sometimes. There we go. Whoa. That is what the undo button is for, guys. Let's just redo that. Whoops. Okay, perfect. So there you go. That's your tennis court. Easy peasy. Looks great. And that's kind of the most difficult part. That is the back part of the build. Completely done. And it's the most difficult part of the build now done. A lot of this is going to be wall building and path placing and tree placing and all sorts of stuff. The one last little bit of detail that we are actually going to do, not in kind of like spectatively, in montage mode, is the gates at the front of the house. So, the gates. So, on the front of the house, left and right of the bricks that we placed earlier, we want to have a gate. Very simple. We place left and right of the bricks, 1, 2, 3 white concretes extending up from the ground. Some quartz pillar in front of and behind these to make it a little bit 3D. We want to have smooth quartz stairs on the front and the back, so where we have the pillars. We could even add lights, couldn't we? So I don't know if this would look silly or not, but I'm thinking, I just thought about this, maybe like a sea lantern at the top? Maybe. Smooth quartz slabs on the top of that. I don't know, you see, now that might look a little bit silly, like it might look a little bit better just to do that. I think that might look a little bit better. And then we're just going to add some iron bars extending inwards from the middle on both sides. And there you go, you've just got like a nice, simple gate. Ladies and gentlemen, we have finished the detail-orientated part of this video. All that is left is really time-consuming, tedious, not fun work that both you and I don't enjoy doing. So, I am going to make a montage out of it, and I will commentate it for you and explain thoroughly what is being done. However, all of this stuff is incredibly self-explanatory, and you would be able to do it without the commentary. So, okay, step 1, we are going to fill in and extend the brick driveway that we made earlier so that it goes around the front of the garage. We're going to add a smooth stone path around the garage with some flowers in front of the window. We're going to replace the actual grass where the fountain is with lime terracotta and also green terracotta. We're going to add some leaves and then replace them because generated leaves seem to dissipate, whilst if you place them, they seem to last forever. We're going to place leaves around the front of the house as well. I believe these are just oak leaves. A little bit of podzol, some azaleas, make it look nice. We're going to build a car in front of one of the garages. It's just kind of like a nice, sporty looking, fancy car. I have a tutorial for this. You might even be able to find a link for it down below in the description. If not, search TSMC cars. We are going to plant a lot of trees around the house. I'm just going for oak trees. Oak trees literally in a horseshoe shape around the entire house, from the front right corner all the way to the front left corner. We're going to grow them using bone meal. We are not particularly interested in a pattern. We're just lackadaisically placing them. I don't mind if I bone meal the ground next to it as well to create a little bit of variety, but all these trees are getting grown. Feel free to add a mix or a blend of trees if you like. I am just going for good old oak. So all of these, and I got a really nice tree there on the front right hand corner of the house. I was quite lucky with that one. We are adding a wall around the entire house. Double row high, smooth quartz wall. On the front, it is just 1 row high, black stained glass pane. Couple of rows of smooth stone with 3 rows of grey concrete in front of the house for a driveway and a path. Bricks are being placed in the back garden, just around the courts and around the swimming pool, connecting everything together, including the gazebo. And in between the 2 courts, we have pondsol with a nice blend of trees and some stone pressure plates, some stone buttons mixed in there just for fun. And that's it. Very simple. All that takes forever to do in real time. Couple of minutes, commentated. End result, hopefully you guys still managed to do it, no problems. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I do hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you have any interest in the world that this build is in, welcome to Stream City. If you would like to download and walk around and edit and do whatever you really want to your very own version of Stream City, channel members gain access to a download link, Java edition only, for Stream City every single time it is updated. It can be found over there in the channel members community tab. So that might be something that you're interested in. If you are, become a channel member, gain access to it. If not, it's up to you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.